Simple gifts. Yeah, straight on the right side. Page 13 maybe.
I didn't bring my straightener with me.
That's Saint Newt.
Saint Newt? Oh, yes.
3 beats. Not too quick, by the way. 1, 2, 3. First movement first, and then if there's
right.
First movement. So probably do the first movement, then go to Over the Rainbow. And then
Sorry?
That should be. We'll do the first movement,
okay,
and then to Over the Rainbow.
Okay.
Measures of 2. 1, 2, 3. Over the rainbow. This is like the ukulele guy. It's that one.
It's the ukulele guy?
Yeah. Remember?
Oh, you mean the Hawaiian?
The Hawaiian.
Oh, wow, cool.
Yeah, it's just you $7.
Oh.
I may cut us off at some point too. So.
Okay.
I don't think so. Is it two? Is it in two or four?
Oh, it says two, right?
Whichever you want.
In two. One, two. One, two. restorative.
My daddy wore a cap like yours.
Next thing would be the academic processional on the right side. Now, play the 8.
He got down on his knees and he faced the rising sun.
Ad nauseam.
And he did it again when the day was
The
done.
DS keeps going back. Yeah.
He wouldn't eat this and he wouldn't eat that. No matter the lean, no matter the fat. He drove my mama crazy, but she loved him anyway.
What's that? Yeah, essentially.
They found each other in the darkness. Red, just like this, no matter what they say, our tears get shed, just like this. Some men, they came a-courting after that, but they ate all the lean, they ate all the fat. They drove my mama crazy, and she sent them all.
The first 4 measures is the 2 power.
We find each other in the darkness. The way we look at the world isn't the same, but the way our hearts can see each other, there is the flame, there is the light. It ain't no shame to hold on tight to memories, to histories, to feelings. It's healing. So remember it all. I do.
They said something about July 5th.
What else do we have?
There's something here written that's definitely wrong. Because you,
Upsetting.
yeah. There's one bar with syncopation, something wrote 4 syllables, but it's just,
It's great for the Joe.
Joe,
Yeah, he was not too long ago. Teaching down at Mike's house.
is he still working or is he retired?
I'm not sure. We fell out of touch a long time ago.
What's his last name? We all went our ways.
Processional? Okay. Good? 2 minutes, sure. Great.
There used to be like 6 Johann Strauss orchestras at a time traveling to
Yeah.
from Vienna.
Were they all authentic Vietnamese?
And just think of, I mean, the first week I was there, I'll never forget. I was just hanging out with Joanna, my friend, the violinist and the radio symphony. There was somebody that called and said, "Hey, somebody just bailed. We need one player to go play close and find 2 in varsity. We leave tomorrow." I mean, there was this the stuff that goes on over there. You can't even imagine.
So you went from some of the greatest beer to some of the greatest wine, right?
Yeah. I'm still close with about half those people.
Are they also working?
Yeah. In fact, a buddy of mine who's also positive violinist, Les McGregor, called me in May and asked me if I wanted to come to Sweden this summer to play an opera, and it just sort of looked in the way and forced me to have to take a plan and all that. It didn't pay me.
You're good. Here we go. D. 2.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. My name is Jermaine Williams. I'm the Vice President and Dean of the Early Colleges for Bard College. It is my pleasure to welcome you all to the 2024 College Commencement Ceremony for Bard High School Early College, Manhattan, Queens, and Newark. To get us started, could I please ask for everyone to stand up, to rise, for the invocation by Rabbi Joshua Buttiger from Bard College.
Welcome everyone, family, friends, distinguished guests of the graduating class of 2024. Welcome Manhattan, welcome Queens, welcome Newark. Let us pray. Dear God, source of life, wellspring of all traditions and religions, help us arrive fully into this extraordinary moment. Bless and shine light on all the graduates here today. They contain multitudes, so we ask you to bless each and every part of them, the parts they are proud of, the parts they struggle with, their gifts and their challenges, the parts that sing out and are evident to all around them, and the parts that are more quiet. Bless their histories so far and the history yet to be experienced. And when I say they contain multitudes, I also mean the ancestors that each graduate carries within them. It's been said that when we die, we are gathered to our ancestors, but until that time comes, our ancestors are gathered in us. So for each graduate here today, may the people you carry with you, who you might never have known, but who made it possible for you to walk across this stage, may they continue to be like wind at your back as you go forward. Abraham Joshua Heschel said, our goal should be to live life in radical amazement, to get up in the morning and look around at the world in a way that takes nothing for granted. For Heschel to come into real maturity did not mean acquiring wariness and cynicism, but rather meant to be in this stance of radical amazement. And no one feels that radical amazement more than the families and friends, parents, grandparents, siblings, cousins, aunts, uncles, friends, chosen family, all of us witnessing and remembering and celebrating. The prophets of all the religious and spiritual traditions represented among our graduates all taught some variation of the centrality of love. Not love in the abstract, but love in real-time relationships. Not love in spite of the challenges of our time, but love through true engagement with these challenges. Thank you, God, for bringing us to this very moment, and may today open into a lifetime of learning. Amen. You may be seated.
I now welcome to the podium Brandon Weber, Bard College trustee and a fellow Bard alumnus.
Hello, everyone. My name's Brandon Weber. Found my way to Bard College in 1993 from Kansas and graduated there in 1997. I'm currently the vice co-chair of the Board of Trustees, and it's my pleasure and honor to welcome the 2024 graduates of the Bard High School Early Colleges Manhattan, Queens, and Bronx. Bard College was founded as the all-men's St. Stephen's just before the start of the Civil War in 1860. It was a training ground for Episcopal priests. It opened in September 1861 with 6 students. I find it inspirational to think about how we went from those 6 students to graduating a class of high school and early college students in New York City, 3 of them. The first 50 years of the college, they were marked by some continuity. Unlike most institutions of higher learning at the time, the school held firm to its belief that education was about unlocking the potential of the individual. As Reamer Klein, the legendary president of Bard in the 1860s and early 1960s and 1970s wrote, college education was not the acquisition of facts, but a dosing of the latent powers of the human mind. developing the capacity to think. The other elements of continuity during those years was that Bard was very poor. It was founded by a member of the Bard family who was bad with money, though he had the good sense to spend a lot of it on the school. It was a constant struggle to raise funds, usually from the church or wealthy patrons not connected to the college. Despite its poverty, the college built a reputation around the distinguished educational program, thoughtful faculty, and inquisitive students. And all three of these, I'm sure, are familiar to you. But it was an unstable existence. A typhoid epidemic nearly put the college out of business in 1887. World War I completely gutted it, but the college rebounded in the Roaring 20s under the leadership of the also legendary B.I. Bell. One faculty member said of B.I. that he took great pleasure in excellence for its own sake. Another thing I think is a constant refrain through Bard's history. During all this time, the students were spirited, much like I see in these classes before me. In the late 1800s, one student snitched about an off-campus event that involved alcohol. His classmates, according to Klein, dragged him out of the hall and carried him to the pump and pumped water all over him, while others blocked this passageway to forestall all attempts at rescue. The college was closed in 1875 due to a smallpox outbreak, and then again during that typhoid epidemic. The students persevered. For better or worse, there were no virtual options available. In 1927, during that time of prosperity, the students went on strike, seeing leadership as too strict. The college's reputation grew along with these students' numbers, but the financial conundrum was not solved. On the precipice of the Great Depression, Bard became a part of Columbia University. Not long after World War II, which had managed to survive, it wanted to begin admitting women, but Columbia would not allow it to do so. But as always, Bard did the right thing. It dissolved the relationship with Columbia and began admitting women. Columbia, despite being a considerably wealthier institution, demanded Bard paid for the land. Post-World War II, Bard became home to a number of distinguished emigres who escaped persecution in Europe, including Hannah Arendt, Heinrich Blücher, and Emil Hauser. It began to attract well-known authors such as Saul Bellow, Ralph Ellison, Mary McCarthy, and Anthony Hecht. In the 1950s, after the Soviet Union crushed an uprising in Hungary, Bard became the temporary home to 325 Hungarian refugees. This is reminiscent of the role today Bard has played for Syrian, Afghan, and now Ukrainian and Russian refugees. Bard was also instrumental in establishing ties with other Episcopalian colleges, including a number of historically black colleges. And the student spirit remained. It was a hotbed of activism in the 1960s. G. Gordon Liddy, one of the chief architects of the Watergate break-in, led a raid on Bard campus when he was DA of Dutchess County. And since that time, the college, under the leadership of Leon Bosstein, has continued to expand its reach. It started its first international program in Russia at Smolny in 1994, the first BHSEC here in Manhattan in 2001. The Bard Prison Initiative, conceived by Bard undergraduate, commenced at the same time. Other important programs have started, such as Al-Quds in the West Bank, Bard Berlin, and new BHSECs, including here in the Bronx and soon Brooklyn. Bard Annandale today is home to 2,000 undergraduates, up from that initial 6. Bard is a distinctive institution, having survived and thrived on ideas that individuals are important. Bard believes in you, and you believed in it. In the case of Bronx, choosing a new school that had never existed. You are part of something special, and you should embrace that, and embrace the power of that. I'm proud to welcome you as a fellow alum. I want to congratulate you, and it is now my pleasure and honor to welcome the, of course, most legendary Bard President, Leon Bosstein.
Thank you, Brandon. And first of all, good morning. Good morning. And I want to congratulate the class of 2024. A round of applause for the class of 2024. And before I describe how terrific they are, I think we should thank all of the members of families and friends who've come to this ceremony and whose involvement with your education was probably indispensable. So a round of applause for the families and friends. Now, one thing that characterizes all of the BHSECs, we hope, is the quality of teaching. And the thing that makes any educational institution really worthwhile is the commitment of people to teaching and the love they have of their subjects and of learning. And we are very proud of the BHSEC faculty. So if we could have a round of applause for the members of the faculty. And I do want to point out one individual who's retiring at the end of this year, who may have been in the original cohort of faculty of the very first Bard High School Early College, which is Bard High School Manhattan. It's the eldest of the Bard High Schools that we have, and he has always represented the highest ideals of both academic and intellectual ambition. I want to recognize the long service of Bruce Matthews. I also want to, Dumaine mentioned this, but there's one new BHSEC in the city that has no representatives here in the graduating class because it just opened this fall. I want to recognize its principal and Siska Brustert. Who served for a long time at BHSEC Manhattan. And I also want to recognize we're opening in the fall in Brownsville in Brooklyn, and I want to recognize David Allen, the new principal. So we have 10 BHSECs in the United States, 4 of which will be in New York. You represent the eldest, the first 3 BHSECs. And we hope to be able to have an 11th, but not in the United States. I've just come back from the West Bank, and we have agreed with the Palestinian Authority to open a BHSEC on the West Bank in Palestine. So, as everyone in this room knows, these young people are not ordinary graduates at their age. They already have gotten a high school diploma at ceremonies that are about the high schools. They represent what we believe is a commitment to the quality of public education. We're not a charter school, we're not a private school, we're a public school. And we believe that education is a civil right. Everyone deserves it. And everyone deserves an education of very high quality. And the BHSECs try to provide that in a way that is fair and non-discriminatory and recognizes the individual and rejects the instrumentation of standardized testing. And this ceremony is when these young people get a college diploma, an AA degree from Bard in collaboration with the departments of education. And this is very unusual. Trust me, government bureaucracies are not easy to deal with. It's very easy to become an anarchist when you deal with governments, whether it's for your driver's license or trying to get a school established. But I want to pay tribute to the Departments of Education of the City of New York and the City of Newark. Who've been excellent partners. But the real distinction that this class has is that they are themselves experienced in dealing with disasters such as the pandemic and their ability to recoup from that. And they represent an achievement that more and more students could replicate, and that is taking learning and themselves seriously and being able to push themselves further than they thought might have been possible, and to avoid the unnatural extension of being a child, the extension of childishness in relationship to learning. And we are exceptionally proud of the BHSEC graduates and the many that have gone before you, and we know that each of you is headed for a terrific future and a terrific career, and we hope that BHSEC is part of what you recollect was an ingredient of your success. So again, I congratulate each and every one of you for this exceptional accomplishment, which makes you stand out from all other people of your age who have finished their secondary schooling. So this is a real accomplishment, and we're delighted to celebrate it. Now, this has been an unnatural period for commencements, and finding a commencement speaker is always a matter of some deliberation and thought, but this year we have a natural. So our speaker is first and foremost the parent of two BHSEC graduates. However, the reason she is with us today is she's one of the foremost artists of our time and one of the greatest photographers of our time. Her one-person show at the Museum of Modern Art closed just a month or two ago. She was born in Vietnam and lived her first 15 years in a war-torn place and emigrated with her family to the United States with her two brothers. And she discovered by accident, really by accident, that her real calling was not biology, in which she got her first degree and second degrees from Stanford in. But she encountered photography, and in an instant, she understood that that was her calling. And she's gone on to be one of the most creative photographers who've been able to bring the idea of subject matter with the beauty of composition and the originality of vision. I think she probably thought at one time that being a photographer was easy. Just, we take out our phone and we're photographers. It's not so easy. Actually, it's one of the most difficult programs at Bard in which to moderate and to graduate. So to be a great photographer is difficult because you are facing the competition of millions and billions of photographers. If you're going to go into quantum physics, your competition is relatively limited. But if you go to photography, you have probably the most versatile amateur and professional instrument of art making in your hands. And her work is unforgettable, beautiful, and she is at the same time a fantastic teacher. She is a devoted member of our faculty, beloved by students, so she combines what we consider to be the ideal for an artist or a scientist, to create great original work of their own and to be devoted to sharing what they can do with the next generation. combine teaching and work. So with this great pleasure and gratitude that I introduce Anmi Lee to you as your commencement speaker.
I would like to thank President Botstein and Dean Williams for inviting me today. As a lifelong, and I can say that now as we're reaching 25 years, as a lifelong professor of photography at Bard College and the proud parent of 2 recent BHSEC graduates, I hold the college, BHSEC, and their expanding communities very close to my heart. So it is for me an incredible honor to have the opportunity to congratulate you, the graduating students, on this achievement and the efforts that have allowed you to finally arrive at this moment. I also wanted to acknowledge your families, friends, and of course your professors, school counselors, and staff members for all they've done to support you in large and small ways. So they share this moment with you, and as we celebrate you, we celebrate all of them as well. Class of 2024, you are unique, and the bond that you share, like any strong bonds, have been forged in shared pains as much as shared joy. Having begun when our country was just emerging from the COVID epidemic quarantine and still struggling with infections and uncertain protocols, your class has grappled with social political unrest, racial reckoning, and the current crisis and war in Gaza. Occasionally, you will hear academic institutions be cynically described as a bubble, cut off from reality, but in fact, the unfolding world, the headlines, the crisis, and the debates are always present in every classroom at BHSEC. When I was in graduate school, I had a photography professor who liked to say, "The world is smarter than you." On the one hand, he was addressing photographers who he felt were too caught up with their own ideas, while the flow of life just outside the door held an inexhaustible supply of surprise and poetics chance. And chance poetics, I'm sorry, I'm a little dyslexic here. This is another way of saying that the world is the uncredited teacher, the unlisted class, the syllabus made up with the present. So living and learning through these unsettling times while attending one of the most rigorous and challenging high school programs has certainly tested your commitment, resilience, and determination, but do not forget that the School of Life can occasionally be just as rigorous and challenging as BHSEC. My kids recoil at anything that sounds like advice, but since they're not here today, I think I might be able to get away with some, so here are a few advice. I would say that it is, of course, important, so important to love what you do, but don't be afraid to change course and don't be discouraged by drawn-out timelines. I was a lumbering scientist, as President Botstein mentioned. I had plans to go to medical school when I stumbled by chance into a photography class at the ancient age of 25. The discovery turned my life upside down. I deferred med school and in the end never went. This happened back in the mid-1980s when practically no young Vietnamese refugees would consider the risky proposition of becoming an artist. My family and I had come to the US as political refugees, and even though by then we were living in safety, the fear of any threat of war, the fear of instability never really left us. On my new art path early on, I ignored my family's disapproval and my friends' quiet dismay, and later, as I persisted, I came to disregard their intermittent assessments of my art endeavor. Regardless of your career path or your passion, validation of your efforts is often measured in thimblefuls. But when you're on the right path, when you feel as though you are answering a call, your definition of success becomes increasingly personal so personal that you learn that to accept that only the ones who truly share your passion will understand. Pablo Picasso was once asked what it was like to taste his success so early in life. And I'm paraphrasing here. He replied that the only value he ever found in success or acclaim was protection. Success gave the skeptics in his life something to chew on. Success helped silence the prying questions and dubious opinions from the doubters in his life. Recognition, accolades, rewards, and large paychecks are easy to wrap our heads around. But for you, the individual, the one making decisions for yourself, now and in the future, success will reside in your definition of a good day, or better yet, a perfect day. You need to ask yourself, what is time well spent? What is good tired as opposed to bad tired? What kind of work barely feels like work? Validation, like what I hope you're feeling today, is extremely sweet when it comes your way, but its ultimate value resides in how it is savored by the people who love you and support you in your life, like your parents, for example. The more you invest in yourself, the more you have to share with others. So I'm telling you it is important to do what you love, but what happens when you don't feel the love and the inspiration to even get started? I think that inspiration is a myth that you should not buy into. Everything is a balancing act that involves work, thought process, work, intuition, and more work. Sometimes we just need a prompt. We just need to be tricked down that path so that we can get working, so that we can get anything started. So yes, believe me, inspiration is overrated. As an artist, I've come to struggle not only with the legacy of war that took place in Vietnam, but also with the expectations that are imposed on Vietnamese political refugees, or any refugees in this country, as we were rescued and welcomed to America. Even though we were rescued and welcomed to America, we were, after all, a reminder, even collateral damage, for the costliest, most devastating war, and for the failure of America in this endeavor. These complex and paradoxical feelings about my origin story are at the base of what drives my artwork. Identity is an issue that is important to some. For me, the details of my biography are not as crucial. I'm more beholden to how the events of my life has shaped me and formed the way I see the world. F. Scott Fitzgerald has said that an artist is someone who can hold two opposing viewpoints and still remain fully functional. With this perspective, as you enter into a most important new chapter in your life, I hope you will have the open mind, the courage, and conviction to tackle subjects that are larger than yourself. I hope you will resist impulses to simplify. I hope you will explore these subjects with all the subtleties and complexity that they demand. I would like to end with a quote from Thich Nhat Hanh, the Vietnamese Buddhist monk and peace activist. You have two gardens, he said, your own garden and that of your beloved. First, you must take care of your own garden and master the art of gardening. In each one of us, there are flowers, but there's also garbage. The garbage is the anger, the fear, the discrimination, and jealousy. If you water the garbage, you will strengthen the negative seeds. If you water the flowers of compassion, understanding, and love, you will strengthen the positive seeds. What you grow is up to you. So congratulations again, class of 2024, and bravo, and wishing you all the best.
We will now hear from our students from each campus. So I first call on David Cutts, principal in Newark, to the podium.
Good morning. I need my glasses. All right. So the person selected to make the student address for BHSEC Newark is this year's salutatorian. She's been recognized by the Newark School District as an academic award winner. She's a member of our National Honor Society. She received a Visual Arts Award at the graduation ceremony last Friday. And this fall will attend Xavier University of Louisiana. Her academic highlights are many, it's true, but what I shall miss when she's gone is the kind smile, the warm welcome, the fearless way she wears her heart on her sleeve, her fondness for her classmates and her teachers, her awareness that every lesson in and out of the classroom is building to something bigger. In all these ways, she is unique, and yet at the same time, just like most of her classmates in Newark, and as such, a perfect choice to give the student address on behalf of BHSEC Newark. I invite to the stage Shariah Marsden.
Hello, esteemed guests, parents, friends, and graduates of the 2024 senior class. I am honored to stand before you on this momentous occasion. Today, we are here to celebrate our accomplishments, the obstacles we've overcome, and the unique paths each of us have taken to become who we are today. As I look at the faces of my peers, I am reminded of the journey we embarked on when we first sat in front of our computers and logged into our first class in 2020. We are undoubtedly the most changed class Bard has ever graduated. Allow me to take you with us as I show you just how far each of us has come. In 2020, 96 freshman students signed onto WebEx and joined our advisory classes, where we were introduced to writing and thinking. We would sit in these rooms and plan how we expected high school to go, setting goals and envisioning our achievements. Teachers saw us as a group of students with a new hunger for knowledge, despite struggling to get to know us individually. In our first year, we found support from the most unlikely friends, bonding over our shared challenges with online school. Following our freshman year, as we entered the school and began to get settled, we discovered that we were referred to as the worst class Bard had ever seen, which at the time wasn't necessarily untrue. We struggled to find our place in a school that felt both bigger and smaller than us, surrounded by people we hadn't met before, and just now officially meeting the friends we had made in 9th grade. We were lost, thrown into a system we knew nothing about, and we reacted in the only way we knew how. Teachers used to sigh at the thought of having us in their classes. Our peers, both older and younger, were annoyed with us. We were all just beginning to find ourselves, and having 94 students in the middle of a self-discovery journey was like locking 94 teenagers in a house and telling them to figure it out. As we tried to find our way, we isolated ourselves, and the grade began to split. Sophomore year, there was no sense of unity. Instead, we tried to get as far away from each other as we could. However, junior year is when the conversation surrounding us changed. The summer prior, many of us began to reflect on what we wanted and who we wanted to be. As we entered school that year, we worked to change the school's perception of us. Instead of arguing every chance we got, we went to the social workers for help with our problems. Instead of yelling at our teachers out of frustration, we talked to them during lunch and attended office hours. We were no longer the worst class at Bard. Instead, the school began to notice our efforts. They saw how hard we were trying to behave, how we were trying to interact with our peers inside and outside of our grade, and how willing we were to help with events, volunteering for after-school games and dances. Suddenly, everything was different. June 2023 is when it all began to wrap up. Over these 10 months, we experienced hardships, friendships, and unity within our school community. We applied for colleges, rekindled forgotten friendships, and overcame all the obstacles in our path. It was once said that life can be heavy, especially if you try to carry it all at once. Part of growing up and moving into new chapters of your life is about catch or release. We release the aspect of ourselves that held us back, and at the same time, we cut so much more. We embrace new skills, experiences, and mindsets, all of which have made us into an extraordinary group of young adults. In closing, as we move forward into this new chapter of our lives, let us continue to change and grow, to reflect and understand, and to excel and thrive as we go on to change the world around us. The future is ours to create, ours to shape, and ours to change. Congratulations, class of 2024. We did it, y'all!
Thank you, Shariah. I now welcome Laura Heimson, principal of Bard High School Early College, Queens, to introduce the student speaker.
Good morning or afternoon to everyone. Thank you so much for being here to support our graduates in the class of 2024. At BHSEC Queens, our graduation speech committee, as we're reading through all of the submissions from students, we start to think about what is the message, the tone that we're looking for that comes off of the page. When we read the speech that you'll hear in just a moment, one thing that strikes me is that I can often spot among the submissions who are our student writers, and in particular, our student poets. For me, I tend to look to the poets for eloquence, for a succinct message, and that's something that we saw in the submission for today. Our graduation speaker from BHSEC Queens is Ines Donnelly. And something that I learned when I was talking and looking at some of the narrative comments from her seminar teachers, I respect a student who at the start of seminar was someone who perhaps had more confidence on the page than in public speaking. And hearing from her year one seminar teacher that that's something that she overcame, not only as something that she slowly worked on, but something that she excelled at very quickly in year one. That when I looked back at what it is that I was so struck by in her narrative evaluation from one of her year two seminar teachers, I learned and wanted to share with you that there, Professor Woodsworth wrote that her final project was visually stunning as a digital painting, and that in reading that process piece that she wrote, that there was layers of meaning, that he was struck with having tied together Plato, the Bible, Greek myth, Hegel, Marx, Hartsock, and that was an impressive feat, especially in an essay that was brief and moving. I'd like to introduce to you Ines Donnelly and have her come to the stage to read her speech.
Hi everyone, how are you doing? First, I'd like to say thank you so much for that introduction, and thank you all for being here. So I remember the first time I ever watched my favorite film, Say Anything. My eyes were glued to the screen as Diane Court took to the stage to give a graduation speech to her high school. At the very end, she tells her classmates, "I've glimpsed our future, and all I can say is, go back." I scoffed at that line. As a year one, entrenched in the college application process, all I wanted to do was move forward. I felt trapped in a repeating cycle of assignments and essays, planning and dreaming for what was to come after. Yet the irony is now, sitting down to write a message to you all, I realized that the only way to move forward is to indeed go back. In place of time travel, the only other option is to reminisce. I missed you, my friends and I say after a lengthy weekend apart. I miss you, we say now, even when we are together. We exist in this future space where the only thing that is certain is the unknown. I recently read this book called On Earth We're Briefly Gorgeous, and in it, the author, Ocean Vuong, writes that in Vietnamese, the word for missing someone and remembering them is the same. So maybe what I'm really saying is that I'll remember you. I will remember every small act of kindness. Our former principal, Val, who packed up and sent all my textbooks to me when I was recovering from surgery, and the time Coach Garcia let me cry in his office instead of lifting weights. We will all certainly remember the 7-hour calculus group study sessions and the shared Spotify playlists on the bus ride to our final trip. We can still recall the deafening cheers after our first post-COVID theater production, Proof. We can still feel the perfectly timed rhythmic stomps of the step team during their winning Interganza performance. And who could possibly forget the manifestation circles we all took part in before final math exams, SAT tests, and track, basketball, and football meets. I should mention that when I first watched Say Anything, the thought of giving a graduation speech nearly nauseated me. I admittedly spent most of my life before Bard unsure of my own voice. This is why I specifically remember the first day of seminar when I raised my hand and forgot my command of the English language completely. Yet I saw how you, my peers, shot ideas back and forth and electrified the classroom. I made a goal for each week, speak at least once, then twice, then 3 times. It was by no means easy, but by the time Frankenstein rolled around in May, I was condemning Victor's reprehensible use of knowledge right alongside my classmates. I later realized that many of you were just as scared to speak as I was in the beginning, yet when we all agreed it was Victor who was truly the monster, we couldn't stay silent. Our outrage finally found a home in the makeshift circular tables of our classroom. Bard did not just teach us how to speak up, though. We also learned that just because we see an outfit on Pinterest does not mean we should wear it to school. And that our freshman ID pictures will stay with us forever, so I probably should have taken out my Invisalign beforehand. At times, we spent 7 hours studying for calculus finals just to get an F, but the point is not the grade. We took the class because we wanted the challenge. When I first came to Bard, I naively thought knowledge would clarify. That if I read enough Russian literature, I'd somehow avoid the heartache and chaos of growing up, or at least distract myself from it completely. But the more I looked for answers in the books we read, the more questions came back instead. It is only now I realize that I know much less than I thought, and I am entirely okay with that. What I do know, thanks to Bard, or should I say our unit on Socrates, is that asking questions is far more important than knowing truths. Only then can we ask, as citizens of our community, city, and world, are we truly using our voice and knowledge to do good? And what even is good anyway? Perhaps the answers lie in these past 4 years. The bus rides, study groups, advisory check-ins, club meetings, performances, factory runs, fundraisers, forums, and fairs. In all the ways in which we've supported one another in times of failure and success, your kindness is what I will remember above all. Like memory, our voice is not a given, and neither is this degree. It is something to be proud of and something we have earned. We leave Bard knowing that speaking up is not a requirement, but rather the greatest responsibility and tool for change. As we go forward, I know we will remember that feeling in seminar of being able to say anything. And while I am sometimes still scared, and I'm sure some of you are too, this is what always made us feel truly invincible. So, graduates, I've glimpsed our future, and all I can say is, go back, but also go forward. There's so much to enjoy in this life ahead of us, and so much to remember that will guide us on the journey. In the end, this is what Bard taught us: to be emotional teenagers with too much knowledge of philosophical thinkers, but to venture to be philosophers ourselves. To speak, especially if our faces burn and we stumble and forget our words. To say, I miss you, and to say, I remember you. To say anything, but even more to say something, using our voices to advocate for what we believe to be important. To our teachers, friends, classmates, and families, you have armed us with all the necessary words to say this and to say thank you.
Thank you, Inez. And I now, to introduce the speaker from Manhattan, I welcome Stephen Chatterpaul, Principal of BHSEC Manhattan.
Good morning, everyone, and good morning, graduates. Today's BHSEC Manhattan speaker is, as her teachers put it, a music-loving, proud Brooklynite whose poetry hums on the page like the skin after a trip to Brighton Beach. She wrote her inquiry project on the gentrification of Brooklyn and how this has been shaped and reflected by the expansion of city bikes across New York City. Her teachers describe her as a curious young scholar and writer who has a quarrel with the world. She's also an Olympic level water polo player. Her signature look of cowboy boots and her passion for writing, her infectious smile are just a few of the amazing qualities that today's BHSEC Manhattan speaker has. Please join me in welcoming Maria Chernyshova.
Let me tell you a story. I remember being in the 4th grade on the swim team, and during our summer, our coach would let us do our dryland exercises on the sand and our laps in the ocean. However, one day, he said that the program didn't allow ocean swimming anymore because of a safety concern. We had to go back to the indoor pool. I was crushed. Even at 9 years old, though, I wasn't about to just sit back and do nothing. So I decided to go home, pull up Microsoft Word, and type out a petition. I went around, got everyone in the organization, even the Olympian who started and funded it, to sign it, and brought the petition to the director. He said that he couldn't help me out with changing the rules, much to my dismay, but he took my petition and framed it. 8 years later, it is still hanging there, up on the wall. That, to me, is everything. Wanting to make a change, striving to achieve it, and being heard. I feel like that drive is at the heart of what it means to be a Bard student. When asked to paint a picture of my time at BHSEC, all of the colors get blurred together and smudged in my mind. I think we, all of us together, probably have no idea what we really look like or what we are meant to look like. Teenagehood is a hard thing to go through. After all, we are just children living with no real dispositions to our bodies besides our shared love for Marx-centered debates and distastes for focus-free rights, of course. And I'm speaking for all of us right now. Don't try to argue with me from the audience. The class of 24 has been through hell and back, and no, I'm not just talking about the sandwiches in the cafeteria being made from sunflower butter instead of peanut butter. Summing up our first COVID-19 inflected year here as best as I can, I felt as if it was like a big cup of water with a crack in it, and someone kept pouring more and more into it, but it just kept leaking out. And funnily enough, during our time at BHSEC, the building flooded more than once. Regardless of that fact, we persevered. I walked into the building for the first time at the start of our sophomore year for writing and thinking. After just a couple of exercises, which would probably send someone from Brooklyn Tech or Bronx Science into a coma, I knew that Bard was the place for me. During that couple-day stretch, I wrote more than I ever had before. 3 years later, I plan on going to college to study English, hoping to one day publish a book. Writing and thinking is something I will truly appreciate forever, and I will carry it with me for as long as I can. I know that not all of you in the audience share that same opinion, but that is the beauty of it. Bard changed me. Bard changes its students. We all get to come here and do what makes us who we are, no matter what it is. Growing up with really bad social anxiety, I never thought I'd be able to participate in class. Most of my teachers in the audience will probably find that very hard to believe. I'm looking at you, Professor Agredo. Nowadays, because of my time at BHSEC, I find myself leading seminars, giving 45-minute presentations effortlessly, and addressing all of you here on the stage. Our small class sizes and accepting environments foster the perfect type of discussion we all love. Bard professors put the work and the care in, and that reflects on every one of us. I've never met a single student here who isn't a little bit of a nerd about something in one way or another. For some, it's quantum mechanics, and for others, it's Saul Williams poetry. And inside 525 East Houston Street, that is accepted and appreciated. All of the members of the class of 2024 are driven. All of us have our distinct passions. Our time here has been spent well, and I can name a million highlights. Endless biology labs, frisbee tossing sessions on the field, inquiry projects, college processes, several school dances that no one really ever went to. We are the 22nd BHSEC graduating class, and we did it in a time when nobody really thought that it was possible. Through cafeteria renovations, pickleball in the cage, senior assassin scandals, zero-period yoga, at Bard Manhattan memes, rival school newspapers, Mr. Tenzin's heartfelt retirement, and then quick reinstatement. The list goes on and on and on. BHSEC has taught us kindness and compassion. We have learned honesty and how to harness our creativity to be the best possible versions of ourselves. Our souls have been infused with both a want and a need to read and write and to do Calc 3 for whatever reason. And to be honest, it is really, really hard to leave. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of all of us, everything that we have achieved and every achievement that is still yet to come. I'd like to wholeheartedly say thank you to all the families for their endless support. It truly would not have been possible without you. Thank you to the friends that we have made along the way, and even the foes. Thank you to the professors and the staff that got us through to 3:35 every day, or 3:28 as it is with the new schedule. Nobody would have been better for the job. And thank you to my classmates for the greatest 4 years that anyone could ever ask for. I'm going to miss this place a lot. So if you don't mind, I would like to share a quote from my favorite poet, who actually, funnily enough, Inez also quoted in her graduation speech, Ocean Vuong. He says, "The most beautiful part of your body is where it's headed. And remember, loneliness is still time spent with the world." No matter what happens and what we have to struggle through, it always leads towards something greater. The future will not be perfect. The future will not even be close to perfect, and that is okay. BHSEC has taught us how to make the most of what we have, and I know that all of us will do exactly that. Now, go off to wherever you are going to go and be amazing, and also don't forget to bring that AA degree with you now. Congratulations to the class of 2024.
Thank you, Maria. Our students are amazing, as you can tell from these amazing speeches, the reflections that we've had. So a round of applause again to all of our student speakers today. I now welcome back to the stage President Leon Botzheim to give the charge to the graduates.
So college commencements derive mostly from the church-based origins of institutions in which the person who was the president was more likely to be a divine, a priest, a pastor of some kind, and the charge at the end of the ceremony before you get your degrees was a kind of last-ditch sermon. So here's the good news. I'm not a priest. I'm not a rabbi. I'm an agnostic. I'm not an atheist because that person knows something that I don't understand. I don't understand it as much as I understand people who believe in God. So I'm neutral on the subject. And I'll be brief. I'm supposed to give you some advice. So the most oft repeated cliche is that we who are older say to you, we've screwed everything up. You're now going to inherit this lousy world which we didn't actually successfully fix, because when we graduated from college, those of us who did, that's what they told us, right? We're going to fix what they didn't correct. And so we pass this cliche on. I'm not going to tell you that. I'm going to tell you something else. I believe that the optimistic expectation that democracy and freedom would flourish as learning became more broadly distributed. That there was a connection between being educated and then being part of a society that was just, that was free, that was tolerant, that education was an instrument of progress. Actually, in this country, more people are going to school, more people are getting degrees, and we've never faced a more catastrophic politics in our history. Why is that the case? Well, we can blame the universities, and they actually deserve a lot of blame. We can blame the public school system. They deserve blame too. They're imperfect. But where does the blame really lie? It lies with us. What I'm going to tell you is this is not about your inheriting the future. This is about doing something now, this summer. And I say to everyone in this room, I happen to believe, and this is a nonpartisan statement, that the country's future is at stake in the election in November. And that if we sit at home and mind our own business and don't drop what we're doing, and it isn't about getting the vote out in New York. The crazy system of our democracy is indirect. The wrong person could get the popular vote and not become president. It's happened before. It is about going and talking to people that don't agree with you, that don't initially want to talk to you, to go to battleground states and make sure that an absolutely unqualified, depraved, ignorant, and nasty person becomes President of the United States. And it's not about politics. I voted for Republicans. There are a lot of Democrats I can't abide. It's about the loss of common sense of what the presidency requires. Could I think of better candidates? Yes, so could you. But that's not the case we're facing. Now, there's some insane minor candidates, truly insane minor candidates. That's not a solution either. The fate of American democracy and of a civilized effort to agree, even when we disagree, is at stake. And what we have to do is put aside our petty differences, our factionalism. We have to unite against a clear and unambiguous choice between freedom, civility, and tolerance, and ignorance, disinformation, and tyranny. A university cannot flourish. Learning cannot flourish. Science cannot progress except in a free society. And that free society is at risk. When you have a governor in Florida wiping out all funding of the arts, when you have a governor in Louisiana insisting the 10 Commandments, I have nothing against the 10 Commandments. They are aspirational. They may not be actual, particularly honoring your parents, but they are religious documents. And unless we keep state and church separate, we're going to be in trouble. This is not an ordinary election. And you must spend real time using your education to convince people that things are not as simple as they are, that there is a way of determining the truth from distinguishing a lie from the truth, that there is a way to understand a problem differently, to gain the trust of someone whom you don't like, to teach them how to uncover what is a fake AI conspiracy developed notion. The great thing about the eclipse this year is that no one thought it was a conspiracy. And that is a kind of model of how we can make a conversation. And we have to learn not to be self-righteous. I don't know that I'm right, but this choice is so clear that it's like night and day. It's not close. In 2016, it might have been close. Democrats were in office for a long time. This was some kind of crazy TV show guy from the outside. You know, flip a coin. But we can't have that excuse now. And this is not a joke. I'm an immigrant, like Anmi Lee. I was a refugee as a child. America was a beacon. I'm a patriot. A beacon of justice, possibility, slavery and Jim Crow notwithstanding, a place that could make progress, a place where different kinds of people could be citizens and equal, where we could actually have prosperity and some measure of social justice, where we could believe and say what we wanted, and could be governed by an intelligent government. And the fact is that we've never, ever imagined this kind of choice in our history. And unless we do something to make sure that people go out to the polls, that we engage them to try to walk away, not hardcore supporters, that's hard, but we can try that too. To communicate, not sit in our homes looking at our phones and our machines and tending to our private business. There will be no private business if tyranny and the democracy we already have, which is fragile and imperfect, goes in some deep dive. And don't be convinced by some kind of crazy dialectical explanation that the worse it'll get, the better it will be. We have to put our differences aside and work throughout the country to ensure that we have a future that you deserve, and you have the education, the skills, and the privilege to help. And that goes for every other person in this room. So it's not about the future you'll inherit, it's about the next 4 months. And let's hope the right thing happens. Congratulations.
Thank you, President Botstein. This is an amazing class, and as you have heard, you are graduating at a very important and unique time. But now we're on to the main event, why we're all here today. So in a very few minutes, we're going to have the students walking across the stage. Many of these students will earn other degrees. Many of you will go on to earn bachelor's degrees. Many of you will earn master's and even doctorates. But this will always be your first college degree. So we're going to give everyone the time to come across stage and get their diplomas. It will take some time. There are lots of them. We're going to encourage the audience to hold your applause until the end when all the diplomas are conferred. I asked, I know. I'm going to instruct in a minute the students to come up, so you should be getting ready. You're going to do that one row at a time. But before then, the official conference. Trustees, faculty, ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to present the class of 2024 for the degree of Associates of Arts. The following candidates have completed all the requirements for the degree as prescribed by the state of New York, the trustees of Bard College, and the faculty of Bard High School Early College. At this time, I'm going to ask Dean Laurie Ween, Dean Minnie Jayaprakash, and Dean Bill Hendricks to join at the other microphone. They will be calling the names. And I'll ask Assistant Principal Studwell and Dean Iboldu to join for getting the degrees. So we'll have our first group of students can start. Okay. Yes. Okay, as we get started, another round of applause for the class of 2024.
Xander Adamus.
Josephine A.J.
Sherneen Ahmed.
McKenna Marcia Alcindor.
Yasin Ali. Shayla Almanzar Abreu.
Ayel Sabri. Louise Amarell.
Tajane A. Anderson. Caesar Andrews.
Abigail Ansah. Elizabeth Applebaum.
Ronel Apia.
Real time. Afia Arhin. Arian Eric.
Afifa Asta.
Olivia Ofre.
Sanaya Augustine.
Masha Abrutsky.
Ellen Bake.
Mukhtar Baldi. Redwan Bari. You got your robes, good. Charles Becking Gillespie. Marley Beheen. Anya Bernardo.
Trillian Bergeron.
Tamar Berkowitz Hankin.
Christy Bomick.
Jordan Blake. I love the phonetics. All right. Sarah Bly Cox.
Janessa Reshma Budhu.
Isadora Brink.
I know. The whole thing, you want Sebastian or no Sebastian? Angel Brito Arias. Marcus Bowie.
Emmanuel Burgess.
Ryan Burke.
Francis Byrne. Elvin Cadena. Tessa Cahill.
April Carlios.
Soraya Carrasquillo. Brenda Carrion.
Corey Castillo. Genesis Castro.
Congratulations.
Noel Celestine. Luca Settorelli. Marco Chabla. John Chacha. Jamie Chan.
Victoria Chan.
Austin Chan Orsini. Isabel Chang. Maggie Chen.
Maria Chernyshova.
Ayan Chowdhury. Skylar Shulot. Nishat Chowdhury.
Rafid Chowdhury. Chelsea Cloyd. Natalie Cohen.
Ricardo Koch.
Congrats. Audrey Coker.
Layla Colon. Lana K. Corbell.
Mia Chun Culbreath.
Jordi Curillo Narvaez.
Rivers Curry. Natalia Deyraj. Abe Das.
Burhanuddin Dawson.
I'm just going down there.
Mia DePaolo. Hugh Devi.
Hassan Diarasuba.
Angelina Lucia Diaz.
Samuel Di Giambattista. Congratulations. Mamadi Diamandi.
Lala Jubate.
Samantha Donier.
You're beautiful. Beautiful speech. Well done.
Inez Donnelly.
Delilah Dorado.
Jigme Dorji.
Una Dor.
Aaron Davis.
I liked your inquiry project.
Thank you.
Osato Eigiator. Sophia Economides. Jenna El-Jamal.
Mariam El-Mahi.
Let's go. Eve Epstein.
Sakera Luz Escorza Perez.
Sania Faiza. Clara Fass. Odin Fowder. Joshua Fetterman. Danielle Feldman. Jordanis Fernandez. Judah Firestone Marill.
Sandra Flores. Gundo Fofana. Christiana Francis.
Asa Joel Francis.
Carol Fry. Mia Fuentes.
Congratulations,
Donovan Galloway.
Okay.
Austin Gao. Tanya Maria Garcia. Jessica Grijeko.
Samantha Gould.
Freya Grant. Jamira Graves.
Ida Gray.
Emily Cuevera Armaz. Amara Gumede. Chris Mary Guzman.
Christiana Hajipavlis.
Alicia Hamilton. Rodman Harris.
Samira Hassan. Dario Haxia.
Leon Heist.
Axel Helfand.
Najwania Hemmings.
Emily Herrera.
Congrats.
Ashley Hidalgo.
Reina Hines. Najla Hogue. Nyla Holman.
Jing Hong. Asan Hawk.
Arika Hossein. Andre Hueso. Samir Husseini. Liana Islam.
Natalia Jablonski.
Quality Jacobs. Kadiatu Jalo.
Sincere Jamal.
Vincent Jenner.
Sumaya Juina. Isabella Jimenez. Francisco Jimenez.
Zainan Jimo. Samira Johnson Perry.
Chelsea Jones.
Kaylin Jordan.
Nadia Jordan.
Kara Jarenko.
Swadu Kaba.
Sebastian Kaczynski. Bruno Katz.
Dominic Kielishek. Senor. Eva King Sr. Matei Kirkbride.
Amarilis Curtin. Congratulations. Ariana Kleinberg.
Andrew Kokolakis. Zoe Koo. Martina Karuma. Jasper Kuther.
Hanaya Sanai Lafont.
Jonathan Lai.
Taina Lamut. Brian Landecho.
Nina. Is it going to be loud? I think so. Nina Leach. Andre Lee.
Nadeja Lee.
Switch the order.
Nicole Lee.
Lilibeth Leon.
Gabriela Jose Leon Ramirez.
August Levinson. Sophia Levy. Clara Lewis Jenkins.
Selena Lynn.
Casper Lisowitz.
Nicholas Lubin. Congratulations, Morgan. Morgan Lucas.
Hayden Lund.
Dana Lusuriaga Matute.
Congratulations, Kyle. Kyle Mackelberg.
Hannah Madry. Tazee Mahasheen.
Devron Mayer. Zamaya Mans.
Isabel Marks.
Sharaya Marsden.
Leo Masura. Sasha Mayer.
Kamar McKay.
Jaquez McKeever. Faith McIver.
Alexandra Medina. Naomi Melamed.
Mira Miola.
Lola Meyer.
Destiny Miles.
Tara Mladenovich, right? Tara Mladenovich. Jackson Montgomery.
Aliyah Montague Peters.
Celeste Morera.
Asiel Moreno.
Julian Moreno. Mackenzie Kenzo Morgan.
Isabella Mach.
Najia Mohammed. Edison Muyolima.
El Nair. Tenzing Namdal. Max Negbauer.
Dana Nicolaou.
Congratulations, everyone.
Emily Nolasco Guardado.
Delling O'Connell. Auden Oaks.
Nola Ray Odin.
That's my skill.
Ethan Odunsi.
Congratulations.
Cassandra Oduro.
Congratulations. You okay?
Chelsea Oduro. Olamipo Ogunleye.
Oh, my sleeve keeps getting hot.
Isioma Oko.
Emmanuel Awanta.
Precious Ajwa Adama Opoku Kisi. Yelinson Ortiz.
Adriana Pacheco.
Yasmari Palestino Ibarra.
Sharif Parvez.
Lars Patterson.
MD, right?
MD Patwari.
Jocelyn Pakar.
Agnes Peebles.
Ageless Peleas Altamirano.
Devin Perez. Alyssa Perry. Annabelle Pesantes.
Henrietta Pugh. Laura Albane Perrone.
Elijah Phillips.
Eliana Picker. Emily Pinos.
Kaveh Pitt. Rosebud Pleasant Wright.
Cross or Pras? Oh, Pras, okay. Arjun Pras.
Dylan Quezada.
Alexander Quito Tenesaka.
Jocelyn Rafter. Adrita Rahman. Anunto Rahman.
Congratulations,
Nakib Rahman. Lorena Ramos.
Sitara Rashid.
Congratulations.
Tassin Razia.
Okay. Congrats. Emil Regnier Klein.
Congratulations, Noor.
Noor Resk.
Arabella Rhodes.
Razel Denise Riddick. Shaisha Richards. Brianna Rivera.
Milton Rodas Carranza.
Edward Rollins. Josh Rosenstein. Kennedy Ross.
Crisante Rowe. Joanna Ruiz. Catherine Ruiz.
Wilson Rumble.
Thomas Ryan.
Sienna Marie Saballegue. Wyatt Saul.
David St. Louis. Juliet Angelina Samla.
Amelia Salmons.
David Sanchez Payano.
Crystal Sandoval.
Congratulations, Chris.
Christopher Santiago. Faiza Sarkar.
Congratulations. Lucas Schaefer.
Amira Najee Scott.
Maeve Seto. Sabit Shaheen.
Anika Shera.
Kaiki Shido.
Nia Faye Shuford.
Emilia Solano.
Marquise Singletary. Malay Nicole Slater.
Rosemary Soul.
Christopher Sterling.
Luther Stevens.
Shamar Stewart. Michelle Tadros.
Samaya Tate.
Congratulations. Racy Tan.
Aliyah Thomas.
Alexandria Thomas.
Emil Thomas Baker.
Michael Thompson. Sim Thorpe IV. Congratulations. Samaya Udin.
I think we have a missing.
Alexis Umana Lima.
You ready?
Malaysia Uzel.
Raju Vararun. And Michaela Vialva.
Maria Vilasa Cunha. Daniel Villa.
Elisa Volmar Andujar.
John Walden.
Zephyr Weinreich. Mateo Weiss.
Malaya Belbon.
Maxwell Westlock.
Nice now. Donnell Wiggins. Oh, good. Godwin Wilson Livingstone.
Madeline Wong. Kaio Yamada.
Canon Yamagiwa Thomas.
Andy Yang.
Erica Young. Maya Yulman. Congratulations, Andrew. Andrew Zaharakis. Charlene Zhang.
You have, ladies and gentlemen, you have one more chance for applause. Will the graduating class please stand? The graduating class please stand. The granting of degrees. The granting of degrees is not only by giving a diploma, but a declaration, a public declaration, which is in our tradition in Latin. And it says, by the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees in the state of New York, I grant you this diploma. And it reads as follows. Auctoritate mihi commissa, vos ad gradum artibus soxi admitto omniaque jura ac privilegia hatum gradum pertinentia vobis concedo and in testimonium hoc diploma vobis solemniter trado. Congratulations to you all.
So we have a few more ceremonial items to wrap up our commencement ceremony. I will ask that the members in the audience please remain seated while we go through these items. This will be followed. Yes, right, graduates, you can sit. So we have a custom that we will do, which is the ringing of the Burmese gong. And I'll ask Principal Laura Heimson to join me on the stage for that.
So while I explain the tradition, I'm going to invite back to the stage our three student speakers. If you three could make your way and join me on the stage. As perhaps you've already read in your program towards the end, that this tradition, along with this beautiful gong, was gifted to us by one of our founding deans, Ba Win. The Burmese singing gong is played at the conclusion of ceremonial occasions. The reverberating sound that you will hear conveys our fondest prayers and best wishes for success to the graduates. The gong will be struck 3 times, once each by these 3 students. Following the last echo of the gong, this part of the ceremony concludes.
Oh, God. Hey, what if I miss?
Thank you. As we close, I would like to again thank our faculty for all the work that they have done over the years to help these students. I also want to thank our staff, many of them working tirelessly behind the scenes to pull off events like this. These are our counselors, our office staff, our parent coordinators, members of the network team. So thanks to all of those staff members who are tirelessly working to make all this happen behind the scenes. At this time, I'd also like to take a moment to acknowledge a member of our board family who passed away, our former parent coordinator in Queens, Renee Plummer. Renee, who graduated from Bard College, will be fondly missed by all of us in the early college community, and we only hope that our work continuing can live in her legacy. Again, I'll ask members of the audience to remain seated. We will have next the closing prayer. And then there will be a procession leading first from the members on the podium and on the stage, followed by our graduates, and then followed by our guests. So the guests do need to remain seated, having the aisles cleared so that those of us on stage and our graduates can process out. Thank you. At this time, I welcome back to the stage Rabbi Joshua Buttiger.
We'll conclude as we began with gratitude. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord illuminate your path and teach you grace. May the Lord meet you in this moment right now, and may you only know peace. And to our graduates, go well into all of these next chapters awaiting you. Congratulations.
One additional ceremonial thing. Could all the graduates please rise? On the count of 3, you'll all move your tassels from the left to the right, signifying that you have graduated. 1. Sorry, right to the left. Sorry, what? You got it. From the right to the left, sorry. All right, so 1, 2, 3. Congratulations.